What's going on, everybody? SLB coming at you with another video review, another in the long line of masterpieces from the Transformers. This is Takara Tomy MP 25 Cybertronian Warrior tracks right there. He is a Chevy Corvette Stingray. In all of his vehicle mode glory, he's a Stingray. In his robot mode, well, that's a different story for later on. Been waiting for this guy for a long time. Thanks to James at primetoys.net for hooking me up with this guy. Really appreciate it. Thanks for giving me a great deal. Go check him out. Link will be in the description below for this figure through their website. Box. Standard Takara Tomy Masterpiece box. You know, I'm just doing all kinds of weird things today. Standard box, vehicle, robot, Chevy Corvette symbol, back of the box, product shots, shows them with Lambor and Prowl, flight mode, car mode, accessories, things it comes with. Nothing. Oh, officially licensed by GM. Yay, cars! That's it for the box, pretty much. Here's Monsieur Trax himself. Let's go over one nitpick accessory. First and foremost, let's bring this camera down, shall we? Right about there. That's good. He does come with your standard card, and the back is very similar to all the other ones. The front, I'm not a fan of. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I don't like this design. Here is Bumblebee's card. Thicker cardstock. I get they went with the thicker cardstock. That I like. I like the thick cardstock. I just don't like the artistic rendering. I don't know why. It just doesn't have that nostalgic feel as this one does. I mean, but if you look at the back is very similar. You get card, you get your robot, you get your tech specs. That's that. But this would be great as a poster that you can hang up on your wall, like even an 8.5 by 11 like normal piece of paper just on the wall. This, I like this. It's simple. It's nostalgic. It's Generation 1. This would be much better blown up and hung on a wall. My opinion. Take it for what it is. Here's the vehicle mode. Here are the instructions, which, you know, basic instructions. Very easy to follow. Very easy to follow instructions. Nothing too complicated with the instructions. A couple more accessories. He does come with a little Raoul. More on that in a second. Comes with a little blaster. Look at this little guy is cool. The detail in this is amazing for such a small representation of a big figure. This is amazing. From the little molded details to the Autobot symbol, this guy is cool. And he comes with his beam blaster, not beam, B-E-A-M. Little thing right there. And he comes with a little gun for flight mode, along with a stand for flight mode, which I'll show you off in a second when we get him into his flight mode. Plus, like the Masterpiece Bumblebee, he does come with rear view mirrors, I should say, that I will not be putting on for fear of losing, but you get 2 sets of those, which, why can't they just put them on the figure? I don't get why they started doing this. You can give us the extra set, but why not just come with them on? I mean, they go in these little holes right here. I don't know, well, you can see that, but right here is where they go in. But why can't they just put them on the figure? But that's a little nitpick of my own. And I digress. Now, before we get into the vehicle itself, let's go over this guy right here, Little Raoul. Now, with MP10, we got, let's move this, Spike. Same size, but why couldn't we get a Raoul in this mold? You know, different paint, different head, but with some articulation. Why is he just a stagnant statue? Why? I don't get it. This little thing does nothing for me. Nothing. This does more for me. Granted, no face, paint apps, but proportion to the car, it looks better. The fact that, you can get him in MP10 and all that. It just doesn't make sense to me why they just made him almost mannequin-esque in that he just stands there like a model at a car show. Why? When we have this already. And this, far better than this. Again, my opinion. Now, car mode. The car mode is amazing. I love this car mode. I am a fan. I'm a little biased because I do love the old Vets. Even the new Stingray. That's actually a pretty badass car. But these old Vets were amazing cars. They look great. And this is a good representation of it. From the little Chevy emblem in the back here to the way they got the contours. A very good representation of the vehicle. And this blue just sparkles. I mean, it just stands out. It's just BAM in your face. Especially with the flame hooded paint job here. A very good representation. Is he mistransformed? No. A very good representation of the Chevy Corvette of the 80s. I like it. I dig it. Now, another cool added feature is you can... it really takes a... You really got to get your finger in there. Hang on. There we go. You really got to get your finger in there to get the hood up. But he does have a little molded detail for an engine, which I think is awesome. I really like the way they did this. I'm really glad they did this. It's just a nice little added feature that I think looks amazing. And that's it for the good stuff. Let's move on to the bad stuff. And there's only two big nitpicks I have about vehicle mode. That is massive visible head syndrome right there. And you can see this double hinge back here along with weapons. I don't mind the wings underneath. I don't care about that. That's actually not that bad of a hiding space for it because it just looks like it's part of the car. If they would have gone with darker windows, this would have been better. Like with Lamborghini here, you can kind of see the feet, but you kind of can't. You really from far away you can't see it. If you get really close, you can. If they went with this color plastic for the windows for tracks, I would have been happy about that. That would have stepped this up a little bit. Same goes for back here. I mean, you can clearly see stuff back here. If they would have just went with the darker plastic, it would have been fine. But those are the only two big nitpicks I have for vehicle mode. I mean, the wheels are plastic, but that doesn't bother me as much. Really nice molded detail on the rims. Really gives you that nice spoke look to them. And again, I don't mind that you can see these wings underneath. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't hinder it rolling at all. It doesn't hinder anything. It's just they would just stay tabbed in. that would be my big problem. But I think I just have it mistransformed. But that's just that. Now, you can store Blaster and his gun in vehicle mode. Here's another issue I have is to do that, you have to, and this guy is really frustrating. I was really, I really questioned it because in order to get Blaster can fit inside the in this area along with his gun, but you have to take the back section off, and I don't want to do it because one of my issues was I was scared I was going to break it because these pegs are so tight and everything's so compact that I was afraid I was just going to break the thing apart. Especially with the legs. The legs, there's a peg in between here to when it just frustrated me to no end that I was going to break the thing apart if I used all my force and all my lack of muscle. But to store the gun and Blaster, you have to get inside here, and you can only store them one at a time. You can't store them both simultaneously. That's another issue I have. It would have been nice if you can get them both in there at the same time. But you can't. And you have to pop this back. And it clearly shows you, hang on, in the directions. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Right here. It clearly shows you right here in the directions how to do it. You have to bring the wings down, bring the back section up, take the hood, the top of the car with the windows and everything, move that back, and then you can plug them in there. But you can't do it together. You can't do it simultaneously. You can only do one at a time. Which, to me, that I don't like that. Now, with the Seeker masterpieces like Thundercracker, Starscream, and Acid Storm, there are spots in the stand to put accessories. It would have been nice if we had places underneath here to store these extra accessories, but alas, there is not. Big letdown for me. But getting the accessories out of the way, let's do some comparisons. So here he is. You've already seen Lambor, so let's just get him together. Got Lambor and Trax. Let's get Prowl in there. And let's see if we can back up a little bit here so we can get everybody's favorite Bumblebee. And you know what? This looks great. This looks really good. I really like the scale of these, especially, this just looks amazing. Having all these cars together, it looks like a car show to me personally. You've got the Nissan, the Vet, the Lamborghini, and the Volkswagen Bug here. I mean, it all just looks great together. I don't have Wheeljack or any of the other Nissan molds or any of that, but soon I will. Eventually, someday I will. But I just love the scale of these and the comparison. Not the comparison. That's not even a word. The look of all these together, side by side. Like, let's do it like this. You can get a real feel of how they scale together. And this just looks nice. All of them sitting there together. I just really like the way they look all together in vehicle mode. I really do. One more scale comparison here. We will bring in the big guy himself, Optimus Prime, and we'll put Prime in the background so you can just see how he scales with it. And I think that looks amazing as well. If you had all of these vehicles lined up together, I think it would look amazing. And just to get you height difference, there you go. I mean, that just looks awesome. Just awesome. Just amazing. They really did a great job with the mold of the vehicle. Yes, there are some major nitpicks I have, personally, my opinion on this figure. But that's it for vehicle... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Forgot. Last but not least, scale comparison. How did I forget? Here he is with Lego Vision. How could I forget that? I'm sorry, Vision. I'm sorry. But that's it for vehicle mode. Let's get him into his flight mode and show you how that looks, because I have some nitpicks about that too. So hang on a second. Let's get him to vehicle. Flight mode, sorry. Get him into flight mode. Okay, well, here it is in flight mode, and I will admit, transforming it more than once makes it easier to do. The tolerances kind of start taking into effect. It looks really nice. You know, I will give it... I love this added feature. You can see the little blaster at the tip here, and even got the back spoilers up here, which just flip up, and these little guns at the bottom here. Oh, sorry, not in camera. There we go. These little added guns here look really nice. I will say, however, that I have one minor issue. Maybe it's just mine. I don't know, but you're supposed to be able to take this peg here and plug it into this slot right above my nail right here. I don't know how well you can see that, but right there. But that's in the way. This part right here is clearly in the way of this going all the way through. This slot right here, I mean, am I the only one that has this issue? I don't know, but clearly this is an issue. It just doesn't... See, it lines up perfectly even. You can even see it in there. It lines up perfectly, so it completely hinders this from going all the way in. Now, if you're just going to have it in flight mode, you can just not plug them in all the way and just leave it at that. And here's the stand, as I was saying. And there's a little hole at the bottom here you just plug this into. And I will say this stand, really nice tight ratchet at this joint. Really nice, smooth, very smooth joints up here. But really, look at that. Listen to that. Oh, that's awesome. Love tight ratchets. But like I said, there's just a hole down here. You just plug this into. And you can display them in flight mode, which I think looks really nice. But you can't see that now because it's not. Let's move this up. There you go. So there you go. There he is on the stand in flight mode. And again, it doesn't look that bad. I will give it this. It's a nice added gimmick. I do appreciate that they did this. It's just that one little flaw with those little slots in there. But you don't have to have the little gun in the front. It's up to you completely, but it's supposed to be there according to the instructions. Nothing really to compare it with. I mean, it doesn't, really... It just looks like a car with wings coming out of its backside. I mean, it's nice. It's nice that they added that. It's nice that they engineered it to make it functionable. It's nice that they, it's just a matter of taking off the back section and flipping everything around, putting stuff underneath everything and all that. It's nice. I do like it. I do like the idea of it. But that's it for flight mode. I mean, he I mean, it's nothing. It's a car with wings, people. I mean, there's just nothing else to say about it. Let's get him into robot mode now. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's get him into robot mode and show you what that looks like compared to everything else. Okay, well, here he is in robot mode, and I will say the good outweigh the bad. He does look good from the front. Quickly, let's go over articulation. Head is on a ball joint, and this is not the ball joint. This is just one of my nitpick issues, but you can get nice, good range of motion from the head. Arms can go out. Can do full 360 without the wings in the way. Elbow, and really nice soft elbow joint, ratchet joint thingamabobber in the elbow. Hands are on a swivel. Hand and the fingers they're all molded together, but they can all open and close very nice and tightly too, so that way you don't have any issues with loosey goosey fingers. If we come down to the waist, you do get a waist swivel, which is nice. If you move this skirt up, you can get a full out, so you can, do the cha-cha. And here's my one issue. This is just on my figure, so this is just my issue, is I have a very loose joint right here in the left knee area, but it is a nice knee ratchet there. It'll show you better on the right leg, but there you go. And foot articulation, it's just up and down, no ankle tilt whatsoever. And looking at him head on, let's get everything. Okay, looking at him head on, he does look nice. I will give him that. The nitpick issues I have is mainly the head and the backpack here. The head, if you look at it, doesn't peg into anything. It just lays there. It's not like, you pop it into place and it stays in place. It doesn't. It'd be nice if there was something to peg it into, or to something to make it just a little bit more secure, so you can get really good use out of the ball joint. Let's talk about this backpack for a second here, because this is my main issue with this figure, is the backpack. There's a lot of dead space back here. I mean, I can put my pinky finger through there, and I'm not a fan of that. If you look at Lambor here as a comparison for backpack issues, you can see how they took the windows and folded them in to create the illusion of, that it's there for a reason. You don't see just dead space there. I would have liked it if they maybe would have taken these end sections here, excuse me, of the fender here, and kind of just maybe folded them in a little bit and had them peg into the back to make the backpack more secure, because it's just on a swivel right here. And as you can see, when I was moving it around, it gets in the way and it just hangs there. It would have been nice if they would have figured out a way to peg it into place. That way it's not just moving it around. That's just my major issue with the robot mode. I mean, he looks good. He's very slim. Very, very slim. Very nice skinny figure. Doesn't look like he has... I don't have a lot of issues with him besides the backpack and the knee. But, if you like it, if you like this figure, get it. For comparisons, here he is, again, with Lambor, Sideswipe, and Bumblebee. Let's put him out front there. And Brawl. And, let's move this camera down a little bit so you can see. I mean, they all look good together. This is definitely an Autobot group. I mean, not just because they have the Autobot symbols, but, this is nostalgic G1, scale-wise, looks awesome. Everybody just looks awesome. I mean, I will still say that Lambor and Bumble are my favorites in the MP10. Out of the Autobot line, these guys are just awesome. But looking at Trax, he does look good standing next to everybody else. If you get the legs just right, and you're not going to be, putting him on your shelf like this, so you see that backpack. I mean, you're going to be putting him on your shelf like this, looking at him head on. So that's why it's not a, "ooh, don't buy this toy" kind of issue. It's It's there. It's an issue for me. I'll deal with it. You know, it's just that simple. So there he is with his Autobot brethren. Let's get Bumble out of the way here, and let's get the big guy himself in here for one last comparison. Oh God, he's heavier than he looks. Here we go with Trax and Optimus for a scale. I mean, you can see that Trax, his head comes up right about to his chest, which is a nice, you know, a really nice scale. I really do like it. I had my reservations at first about Trax. You know, I was talking to my wife about it, and, you know, playing with him a few times and transforming a few times, things do get easier. So do I recommend getting this figure? Yes. Get this figure if you want him for the sake of saying you have a complete collection. If you like this figure and you've noticed, I've told you about the backpack, I told you about the possibility of, you know, the knee and the head. If that doesn't bother you, then get the figure. I will not be getting rid of this figure. I will be keeping this figure. I will be finding out a way to, you know, fix that knee, and I'll be a happy SLB. I do not plan on getting rid of this. The good outweigh the bad. If you would like this figure, check out a link for primetoys.net in the description below. I'll put a link to purchase him where I got him. A very good price. If you have any questions, comments, personal problems, leave a comment in the comment section over here or below, depending on where you're viewing this. Give a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And, you know, it is a good figure. The like I said earlier, the good outweigh the bad. The good outweigh the bad. Pick him up, add him to your collection. It's just really. So yeah, SLB, another review in the bag, saying my childhood hates me. Here are my thumbs.